So YouTube's new layout is even worse than the last one. I'm really not surprised by that. It just seems to get progressively worse. Now YouTube's layout is something like bars within bars within bars. Pretty difficult to add people to friends. I don't even see a private message list. And it's come as no surprise. Many people have argued that YouTube has been gradually trying to get rid of the ability to socialize on YouTube and has specifically used it as a television source, basically. That's all it's there for, is to promote channels that you watch and consume and throw money at, in between a clusterfuck of commercials, just like the television industry, which we all know to be corrupt and vile and despicable and just promoting stupidity. But then YouTube wants to have the authority to tell people who can and can't be there, who can and can't have a voice, when they're the ones intentionally destroying the minds of youth and old alike. So, no, they don't have a leg to stand on. And if they continue to do what they do and persist, we should just break their legs so they don't have a leg to stand on. But my point here is that, we need to come together and do something to protect our rights. YouTube discriminates. There's no doubt about that. You cannot say that someone has the right to ban somebody without proclaiming they have the right to discriminate. Because how would you know that their ban is automatically benevolent? That it's for the good of the forum, or, because it's their website, and it's not based off a hate crime. Today's generation is all about protecting people, the minorities, the racists, and the homophobes, and the sexists. But meanwhile, the heaviest discrimination goes on every single fucking second of every day, and nobody seems to care. If you care about hate crime so much, then stop giving people the means to commit hate crime. Someone having a bad opinion or saying some ignorant shit isn't stopping you from living your life. It isn't stopping you from doing what you want to do. But in fact, banning people does. And as time goes on, it gets easier and easier to ban, and less and less can be done about it. So it's time you started seeing hate crime for what it is. The ability to act on the hate, not the hate in and of itself. How you feel is irrelevant. Your emotions don't mean jack shit. What matters is if you have the ability to act on those emotions. Do you have the ability to act on those emotions? Probably not. But YouTube does, Google does, Facebook does, and as long as they have that power, they're probably using it first and foremost for hate crime. There's nothing to stop them. If there is a moderator that doesn't like black people, then he has the ability to ban black people. Why should he have that ability? Why is he getting to ban black people, but you get in trouble for saying the word nigger? Do you see the inconsistency here? You do not have the ability to hurt people. He does. But somehow, you're the one under scrutiny. You're the one under the thumb of authority to act a certain way and think a certain way. And you know what? I'm fucking sick and tired of it. So, we need to form some kind of organization. And I think if we form a religion, it'll be protected under the law, and then YouTube or no other moderator will be able to touch us. If you got a better idea, I would love to hear it. But we need to do something about these fucking moderators. They are terrorists, and they're killing us. And they need to stop, or we should kill them. It's just that simple. This is self-defense. These people can't be reasoned with. They don't want to live life vicariously. They don't just want to get along and do their thing, and we do our thing, and that's it. No, they want to hurt and control you. And until you grasp that's all they live for, is to hurt and control you, things aren't going to get any better. They're just going to get worse and worse until you fucking die. That's it. How bad does it have to get for you to freaking care? So, that's really all I have to say here, is that YouTube's new layout does not surprise me one bit. It's a corporate shit site. It's just there to promote the big channels like Adult Swim. I see that fucking everywhere. And things like that. in order to make money. But as they're making money, the rest of us get treated like garbage. We get gypped, we get screwed over, we don't even get the ability to talk to one another. Now these big business institutions think they have the right to fucking trample all over our basic human rights to just talk to one another because they think that that somehow gets in the way of their industry and that gets in the way of them doing their thing. But it doesn't. In fact, it only infringes upon us. It always only infringes upon us. And I think I can argue from a religious standpoint that capitalism is bad, that ownership of property is bad. There have been many religious institutions that have said that, the ownership of property is bad. They've never outright, just said no to capitalism, but that's because it's always served their interest as well. Christianity has always said that you should not be materialistic, that you should, distance yourself from your things and your ownership. But it never outright says ownership is bad. Why? Because ownership was to their advantage. It was obviously to the Vatican's advantage. Islam is the same thing. Islam has rejected materialism, but has now outright banned property because if they were to get rid of property, then they would not be able to have slaves. And slaves does not necessarily mean a labor slave. Slavery in the sense of they have ownership over their families, their children, their wives, things like that. So to outright just reject property is to reject a very large part of how religion has gained its hegemony. And that's what's different between my religion, your religion, than religious institutions. In fact, you shouldn't even call them religious institutions or churches. Call them what they are. Corporations. Religious corporations. When you go to a church and you see a big cross, just think of it as a Pepsi logo or something of that sort, because that's what it is. A church is a corporation, and we do not condone corporations in this religion. Now, mind you, on paper, we might be technically considered a corporation as any other religion, because we're doing the same tactics and things, but you know what? You gotta play dirty. That's another main principle of this religion. You have to fight dirty. You have to scrounge in the dirt, you have to get your hands bloody, and you have to do things that normally people are not going to like, and that you might be a little ashamed of at the end of the day. But that's what it fucking takes. It fucking takes you to turn your morality upside down and to realize that good and evil is not what you think it is. If it was, things would be a lot different. Things would not be the way they were if all you needed was honest, hard-working people to make things work. Clearly, that's not true. And it's not going to be true unless you do something about it. And if that means lying, cheating, stealing, killing, doing all those bad, naughty things, then so be it. That's why religion has always suppressed your ability to do that. Not just physically through laws and shit like that, but through subconscious means of making you think that it's sinful and wrong and God's not going to like you if you do it. Because that's how they keep you from achieving real change and real spiritual enlightenment. That's how they keep you contained, and then you have to go to work every day and fucking just slave away until you die. And, they treat you like total fucking shit in between. Isn't it enough that you have to work every day? Isn't it enough you have to go to school? Isn't it enough that the moment you were born, you had to learn how to walk, and you had to learn how to, shit in a toilet, and you had to learn how to do all these things just to maintain some complacency within society, just to maintain some kind of semblance of order and structure and duty. This was just so things could run smoothly, and already you are burdened with all these responsibilities. And on top of that, you're going to couple that with more shit that doesn't even need to be there. Moderators don't need to be there. A lot of laws that are on the books don't need to be there. There are so many things that don't need to be in your life, but you allow them to be. But then you're going to get on Jim Prophet's case because Jim Prophet thinks he has the right. No, he knows he has the right to be where he wants to be, wherever he wants, whenever he wants. And he can say whatever he wants, and nothing can stop him. I mean, nothing morally can stop him. Physically, yeah, all the time. but that's why physically we have to fight back. So I hope that helped you out. I hope that gives you a better understanding of something, made you grow a little, feel a little bit better at least, something. So I guess that's it.